eventually, what we'll have to have is certificates of who is a recovered person, who is a vaccinated person, because you don't want people moving around the world. Bill Gates. Good afternoon. Today is April 4th, 2020, and this should be a short one to some local news. Interestingly enough, I went to get some donuts at Super Saver with my son and daughter on a stroller. My wife was like, don't take them to the supermarket, so I had to tell her why, or ask her why. She goes, she couldn't tell me why. She just said, don't. And I said, do you trust government? She goes, no. Do you trust mainstream media? She goes, no. And I go, then why? And she goes, I just have a feeling. So it's getting to her too. I took the kids anyway. Yeah, you didn't get coronavirus. Okay. Now let's see. I did. There's gonna be a lot of links in the description box to this video for YouTube and Steemit. And LBRY. I can't put in too much because it's just limited, but anyways, a while back I did a stream on October 19th, 2019 on topic ABC News, Turkey serial killers, and the Kentucky Knob Creek gun shoot. You know, there's a lot of videos that everyone else does, and I just kind of repeat it. So Gizmodo found something where ABC News was broadcasting fake Syria bombing video that's actually from a Kentucky military show in 2017. And you can go and rewatch that one because something similar just came up earlier, and I caught it from, I think it was Potter's Clay. It was really going on in 2020 part 2. And you can actually see it. So what happens is, like ABC has aired something, right? But they also, and all the links are in this video too. That's why I just put it in my video. There's a mirror, because the actual video by ABC was taken down. You can see here, it was taken down. ABC News says, yeah, we're sorry. It was an editing issue. And the thing is, people already saw it. You know, everyone who watches TV, they're not going to go onto the internet and go, hey, was this news video like legitimate? They're going to go, yeah, it's from mainstream news. And then there's actually going to be people going and looking into it and go, wait, whoa. It's ordinary people. They go, hey, that's not something in Syria. That's something that I saw in like 2017 in a gun shootout. It's like, wow, why does that look so familiar? And they'll tell someone, and someone else goes, what, really? Yeah. So, and you can actually see in the links, there's also another link by Matt Novak. So he goes, oh, that's the whole video there. There was a video. Oh, okay. Derek Knoll, right? He did he actually filmed it. He's got 38 subscribers. You think he's gonna kind of find out, or even if he did a video and found out that it was something that ABC aired, you know, how many people are gonna watch it? I mean, 102,000 views right there. But thing is, people who pick it up, and it's bigger, I guess, alternative media picks it up, and more people will find that and see that, right? Someone who has 38 subscribers isn't gonna happen. Now, this is important because when I talk about how there are people filming empty hospitals, where these hospitals are supposedly like the epicenters of the coronavirus pandemic, the COVID-19, and they go there and it's empty. Mainstream media is not covering it. The algorithms for search isn't going to pick it up. And most of these people who are going out there and filming it are just curious, and they got nothing else to do, right? They can't go to work. they probably have like less subscribers than me, you know. Definitely less than 2,000, probably less than even 200. Some people even have 38 subscribers, even though they have a video with over 100,000 subscribers. All right, so there's also another one that I'll show you later as well, and this is from Level Earth Observer. He knows that there's a mannequin that got coronavirus mainstream media busted. So there, you'll see that one. All right, so for the first one, here we go. Now, basically, CBS News. This is from the Gateway Pundit. They were caught using footage from an Italian hospital from 3 days prior to describe conditions in New York City, and they'll show you the details. And of course, CBS says, oopsies, sorry, we took down that video and made our apologies. It must have been an editing error. All right, Washington Times, they go, CBS News airs footage of overrun Italian hospital during report on New York City, right? Except, again, how many people who are watching mainstream media news on TV is going to go on the internet and say, hey, and see this? No. Look, there's in New York, they showed a hospital in New York City that was overrun by COVID-19 patients. What's great is someone actually did a video of a shot by shot of the Sky News that was originally aired on March 22nd in Italy, I guess, featuring an Italian hospital. And of course, this is the CBS This Morning March 25th video, and you can see it from the very start.
This is the main hospital in Bergamo in Lombardy province. It's one of the most advanced hospitals in Europe. But it's the most hard hit of all the hospitals in. This is the main hospital.
Yeah, so right now that's got 1.5 million views. Still, it's probably got more than 115 million or maybe even a billion people fooled. So there's that. Let's see. And here's the mannequin one, right?
All right, now I'm going to show you the slam dunk. I'm going to prove to you 110% that they are staging things here, okay? So again, this is from the same video. Now watch this. They're actually using a doll here. Here you go. That's a doll. That's clearly a doll. If you
Yeah, it definitely is. What's funny is a lot of flat earthers are the ones kind of exposing a lot of the media lies and don't trust or don't take anything seriously from the news or the government about the COVID-19. Of course, most people are just going to shut them off anyway. I think a lot of people who watch me and knew me from earlier, from a couple years ago and stuff, are being like, "Shit, I'm going crazy again with this crazy theories, whatever." I'm just showing you what the mainstream media is showing you. We're all just showing you what the mainstream media is showing you, and then we can already expose the lies there. But what we do and what others do are going out and filming empty hospitals. Now, if you type in empty hospitals coronavirus, you're not going to see much of anything on YouTube's algorithm. Same thing with Google, since Google owns YouTube. And then you even got MediaMatters.org going, right-wing media figures spread empty hospitals theory. Except it's not right-wing. They just have to attribute it to something. They can't just attribute it to. They had to put them all in one basket. Even if you go into DuckDuckGo, and I don't really trust DuckDuckGo anymore either. I mean, there's not much that, I mean, they're kind of saying the same thing. Empty hospitals, coronavirus hoax. I mean, at least that's good. But you'll see certain videos, and again, this guy has only 2,000 views or something like that. Let's watch what he has.
I'd like to call to order this secret conclave of America's
Slow. Whatever. Anyways, if you watch Potter's Clay, you know, you'll see a lot of empty hospitals. So he basically had a compilation of people looking at empty hospitals, going to hospitals where they say there should be hundreds, if not thousands, of people getting tested or in the hospital beds. You know, a lot of activity. He's like, hey, we got to figure out how to transport these people to somewhere else because we're running out of room, type of thing. Or someone else, some other hospitals run out of room and they go and bring people to this hospital. You know, people watch a lot of medical shows, right? ER and a whole bunch of stuff. Those shows last multiple seasons. There's like 5 different medical shows on at any particular year, right? And those are very popular. And all of those shows just show people when things get busy, things get real busy. And then what people are seeing when they go to different places and asking people questions like, hey, this is a pandemic. The world is shutting down, or the governments are shutting everything down, telling people to stay home. So they're asking people questions to see how things are in reality as opposed to what they hear on the news.
Approximately how many coronavirus patients have you seen? How many? You don't know? 2? 100? 3. You've seen 3.
So again, there are no lines of people. There is no mass chaos out here, contrary to what the mainstream media is telling you.
How do you know they had coronavirus? Do you guys test in the ambulance? You don't know. You assume. Symptoms.
In this war against the coronavirus in Elmhurst, Queens, that hospital there, lines of people lining up already this morning for about the last 45 minutes. Confirmed cases, people waiting to get tested. Supplies are in demand there.
Somebody said there would be hordes of people inside. That's why I didn't go in. Let's see. The doctor with his mask on and everything. And look at that. Nobody. Completely empty. This is police, no EMS, nothing. Nothing, absolutely. Ghosts. That's all they got you afraid of, ghosts.
With the growing number of patients as supplies dwindle, you can see barricades behind us set up here outside of the hospital to keep order here because so many have been lining up every day to get tested.
Where's the long lines of the people trying to get tested? I don't see that.
I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what it looks like here in New York City.
Anyways, there's links. You can watch the whole thing. What I was thinking about earlier was also looking at CCTV. It's closed circuit television that's viewable from the public. Of course, none really show hospitals, but if anyone does find something where you can see a CCTV that covers kind of the entrance and exit of a hospital, just to see if there are long lines along these hospitals, let me know, because I think that would be a good thing, just to set up a live stream of live CCTV coverage of hospitals and seeing how busy those hospitals really appear to be. But basically, I'm sure a lot of people, let's look at Todd Starnes, right? People like Todd Starnes. Maybe he's pretty big. Okay, 1.9 thousand subscribers. Just a little less than me. If that's right. This is probably some different Todd Starnes. Damn it. We can't even find the Todd Starnes that we're talking about. We can't even find him. Is that the right Todd Starnes? Oh, Howard Wayfish? Maybe.
This is.
Okay, Todd Starnes Brooklyn Hospital. Interesting. Yeah, I guess he got it from somewhere else, but I don't know. He doesn't show a link. I upload this video to YouTube. It's not Todd Starnes. Anyways, yeah, he says that's not Todd Starnes, but even the one who shared it only has 19 subscribers. He got 5,000 views. So there's just people actually going out there and filming the hospitals, asking questions. I know Zoom Truth, Dave has been going out and doing the same thing, and even asking people questions about it. And it's funny, I would love to ask the people like Todd Starnes in this video who go out there and see it, like, these are empty, and I guess mainstream media is lying, or government's lying. And then we'll go, so what do you think about flat earth? They go, oh, no, government's telling the truth on that one, especially mainstream media. They're telling the truth on that one. I don't think they're going to start thinking that way, are they? So the government has gone all in. The mainstream media has gone all in. Corporations have gone all in. You've had the most number of CEOs stepping down before the coronavirus hit. And there's a pretty good video by Really Graceful, I think that's her name, or that's her YouTube page. She has some pretty good content where she breaks down things, and she breaks down like who Bill Gates was before he got famous with Microsoft. Now, speaking of Bill Gates, so there's a TED Talk, or it wasn't a TED Talk, it was a TED Connects, where Chris Anderson interviews Bill Gates. They talk about a lot of things, but I'm going to show you something in particular here, because Bill Gates says something about how eventually what we'll have to have is certificates of who is a recovered person, who is a vaccinated person, because you don't want people moving around the world. Because that's going to be a thing. Like I said in my previous video, they're not going to force anything. They haven't forced anything for a long time. They have these little privileges that you get. You don't get freedom. You have privileges of snippets of freedom. And all those little privileges are at a cost. And if you don't think that TED.com is legit, or Facebook, here's video Facebook page of TED Talks, right, or TED Connects, whatever. Anyway, so I'm gonna go and play you the video. And they're saying it. We're not saying they're saying it and having no evidence that they're saying it. We're showing you evidence directly from the source.
Yes, until we came up with the self swab and showed FDA that that's equivalent, we were thinking the people who might be able to man those kiosks would be the recovered patients. Now, we don't want to have a lot of recovered people. To be clear, we're trying through the shutdown in the United States to not get to 1% of the population infected. We're well below that today, but with exponentiation, you could get past that 3 million. I believe we will be able to avoid that with the having this economic pain. Eventually, what we'll have to have is certificates of who's a recovered person, who's a vaccinated person, because you don't want people moving around the world where you'll have some countries that won't have it under control. Sadly, you don't want to completely block off the ability for those people to go there and come back and move around.
Bill, is your foundation helping to accelerate the manufacture of...
So you heard it. Yep. Certificates for recovered persons and vaccinated persons. So most likely you're not going to be able to have your kids go to public school. You probably can't go to university if you want to go to university unless you have that vaccination certificate. You probably can't travel on a plane, a train, or an airplane without that certificate. They're gonna have to do something big, because if the governments all around the world shut down the economy and everything else for a pandemic that really wasn't that big, and they just go, whoops, sorry, I guess it was better to be safe than sorry. Everyone's gonna get pissed off and do something. So they have to keep going for it, and they're gonna go, okay, we got a vaccine, people are safe, you guys get a certificate, and people without these certificates, well, they're not allowed to go anywhere near public areas and stuff like that. And I think that's gonna backfire. But anyways, that's kind of what's gonna go on, and of course, I'll play it back for you on Facebook as well.
Yes, until we came up with the self swab and showed FDA that that's equivalent, we were thinking the people who might be able to man those kiosks would be the recovered patients, because they could give the test, like one a minute, versus somebody who had to change their protective gear, which is also in short supply, would take like 20 minutes per test. Now that we have the self swab, we don't need it for that. But you're right, recovered people are kind of magical. And for key jobs, even where you might have some exposure, it might be useful. Now, we don't want to have a lot of recovered people. To be clear, we're trying through the shutdown in the United States to not get to 1% of the population infected. We're well below that today, but with exponentiation, you could get past that 3 million. I believe we will be able to avoid that with the having this economic pain. Eventually, what we'll have to have is certificates of who's a recovered person, who's a vaccinated person, because you don't want people moving around the world where you'll have some countries that won't have it under control. Sadly, you don't want to completely block off the ability for those people to go there and come back and move around. So eventually there will be sort of this digital immunity proof that will help facilitate the global reopening up.
All right, so there's that. Now, I wanted to do one more thing. I can't seem to find the tweet or whatever it was. But let's see. Let's see. COVID-19 tracking. I think John Hopkins or something. There you go. I guess that's the first one that comes up. Okay, that's John Hopkins. And I want to see, so the U.S., right, 301,902. What sucks about the statistics, the worst statistics in the world for like the pandemic that's going on, you can't even download the data or find where you can get total deaths. Look, you got 301,902 deaths, or total confirmed cases in the United States. And then they break it down by state, so you can't even see. You'd have to go through each one, add up by state, and sometimes they just have it by like unassigned, whatever. Like how many in the U.S. Like if 301,902 people are confirmed with cases, and you got 14,505 total recovered. Does that mean that's like 285,000 whatever are dead? No. They don't know if they're dead. They're still confirmed. They're just not dead. They're not recovered. So how many people are actually dead as opposed to recovered? They're not going to really show that, right? Because they want to say, look, this is big. This is a pandemic. We have to shut down the world. But then you go, well, then how many people are dead in the U.S. opposed to how many recovered with all these people who are confirmed? Because let's just say in a big case scenario that the death percentage of those who have confirmed cases of COVID-19 is 50%. So out of 15,000 people recovered, 7,500 people died. And maybe they have even mainstream media news. How many people died in U.S. COVID-19? Maybe they have an up-to-date figure on that one. U.S. top $7,000 in one day. Okay, so that was close. So that's going to be close to 50%. So 1% of the U.S. population is going to be around 1 million. No, not even 1 million, right? It's going to be like 3 million. So they're trying to prevent it at 3 million. But like 99% of people aren't affected by COVID-19 and shut down the world. I mean, we haven't even made it to, like, say if 3 million people, what's 1% of 1%, that's going to be like 0.001, 1/100%, I guess, of people have confirmed cases of COVID-19 in the U.S. And this looks like it's huge, but it's not. I mean, I think you put all the confirmed cases into a town in Nebraska, like Fremont, Nebraska, and that's about it. But say it reaches 3 million. That means if the death rate is still 50%, you got 1.5 million people that have died from coronavirus. And you actually add in the people who die from cancer, people who die from diabetes, people who die from like heart failures, and you're going to reach that same amount. And you don't stop the economy for that. People just have to move on. And again, a lot of people who I want to talk with, it's like, oh, you know somebody who has coronavirus. Like my wife said, her sister knew of one of her friends' dad having confirmed coronavirus, and I go, well, does that person have a pre-existing condition? And it's like, is that the only person? Is that person dead yet? So yeah, basically had to be of a relative of a friend of a relative that has coronavirus, and no details yet. And then I think a lot of people are going to be pissed because they're going to be like, look, this person, you're going to see on a lot of videos that you have that are small. And that's what's kind of important, is to find people who have kind of truth seekers, asking questions they've been doing for a long time. A lot of them flat earthers, and they'll show other people's videos because other people just don't have a lot of subscribers, a lot of views, and then someone will go, hey, I'm on this chat, or I have this video up, can you share it, and stuff like that, and people will take a look at it and they share it. I don't know how that works because I don't get a lot of people who do that on my stuff. But still, let's do a search on actually I see a lot of Twitter, and actually we might do a better job if we actually go to DuckDuckGo. Relatives claim did not have coronavirus death. Let's see. So what I've seen in some videos is people on Twitter, whoever, they went to the hospital with one thing. It was nothing like a cold. It was nothing like coronavirus. They had a pre-existing condition. They got into the hospital and they couldn't visit that family member in the hospital. And then that person died in the hospital, and they said that person died of coronavirus, COVID-19. And family members going, no, that ain't right, because they didn't go into the hospital with that, and they're saying it died, and so they can't even go and have it verified. They can't even see their dead body. They can't even have a funeral for that person, right? So first off, if you're hurting or whatever, do not go into the hospital. You're gonna have to try to get doctors to come to your place and have family members around and say, look, take videos of it, have some proof and evidence, and saying they're probably just gonna kill them off, oddly enough. And so yeah, just I'll try to find more of those videos of just do a compilation, I guess, of people saying, look, there's this person died of coronavirus, they say, but that's not true, and who are you gonna believe? The government, the doctors, the pharmaceutical industry, whatever, or family members who are like, no way this person had coronavirus. I was taking care of him or her for like 4 days out of the week, every day, and actually took him or her to the hospital, It's like I went home and did their laundry. You know, if they had coronavirus, I'd have a coronavirus if it was that much of a pandemic. Hey, how's it going? Plain truth. And you know, next thing you know, they get contacted by the hospital saying, "I'm sorry, your relative died. You can't visit him. You can't have a burial service for him. We'll let you know what's gonna happen." They're like, "What the heck just happened here? That person was fine. He just wanted to go to the hospital and, you know, and try to get better." Anyways, you're gonna find out a lot of that too. So a lot of that's all buried under. You really have to look at people who don't have many subscribers, a lot of views, but always put out some video about things like that. And yeah, more people are kind of waking up to what's really going on, and people are still, I'd say, kind of figuring things out. I mean, you can't help but notice the lies when they're obviously going all in about it, and there's just, you know, so much to see that there's fakery going on. And I love how they'll just put it out there. They don't care. It's like, you know how much the anchor makes when they display the video. You know how much probably that video editor makes just for that little snippet that airs on TV in a year, or in probably even a day. They make a whole bunch. And this mistake, you know, how many people who actually watch TV are going to go and find out that video portion was fake? They think that was actually real. And then if they do, they go, "Oh, okay, it was an honest mistake." Except this honest mistake seems to happen so often. And that's the plan. So they say it's an honest mistake. We edited it out, you know, and life goes on. The show must go on, right? Okay, so that's really it. I'm gonna go out and spend some time with the kids, even though I spend a lot of time with them during the day, during the weekday. But I think I'll have something I wanted to talk about later. If not tonight, maybe tomorrow night or something like that. Which has a lot to do with more of philosophy, I guess you could say, of material and spiritual self, or material spiritualness. I don't know how to break it down. But it's like this. You know, imagine we're here. It's kind of like the idea of you're making a sculpture, right? You're an artist. If you're not an artist, whatever, you're attempting to make something out of nothing, like alchemical process, I guess. But you have, let's say you're making a sculpture. You have a whole bunch of clay. Now, depending on how much clay you have and what you envision, you have to gather up the clay first. And you're not going to add on a whole bunch of things to make that sculpture. No, you find as much material as you can. When you think you're ready, you start carving away at that sculpture until you finally find the essence of what you wanted. And that could be yourself. And it's kind of the whole idea of the materialism, right? When you go out and meet people, have interviews, want to find someone to date and, you know, get more intimate with, you put on more layers of yourself. That's materialism, right? You put on nicer clothes, you put on makeup, you put on, you know, hairdo stuff. You add on more. You go out, you want to have a nice wallet, you want to have a nice coat, you want to have a nice car, you know, all this materialistic possession to just kind of exude your material self. Just because that's an attractor for others who have the more material ideal. And then you realize that, and the person you meet realize, well, that's not your true self. I want to find who that true self is, that intimacy type of thing, right? And later on, that car doesn't matter, the coat and jackets doesn't matter, the clothes doesn't matter. You know, to find out the essential who you are is just strip away all that material stuff, not just your physical self, but being naked of all the material fakery, right? It's like, that's not you. That's just kind of how you covered yourself to show what you are not. right? And then to show who you really are. That's how we really know people. You know, their honesty, their emotions. You know, how they handle certain situations, how they get angry, have negative or positive types of reactions. Anyways, that's kind of my next topic thing that I wanted to do. So I'll probably do that later tonight, if not tonight, tomorrow, or sometime during the weekday. Anyways, thank you for joining me on this one, and have a good day.